The 11th of May, here am I in front of Washington Convention Center, where we are having our American Gastroenterological Association annual meeting. Underground metro station in Washington. Train at a lower level. Union Station. Flag of USA. What an architecture. This is inside of the station. Cafe inside the station. Station security guard. Street to Washington.
Who designed the city of Washington, and he felt that in his designs that he should put parks in each neighborhood so that we could have grass and trees and people could come out and commune with nature and with each other. So we have a lot of these little parks in the shapes of squares and circles and triangles. So you see grass and trees and flowers throughout the city. Our early history, Pierre L'Enfant served under George Washington during our Revolutionary War, and he had seen many of the capitals of Europe, and when George Washington asked him if he would take on the task of designing a new federal city for this new nation, he said that he was going to create a magnificent city for this new nation. So many of the things that we will see today were part of his original plan for the city of Washington in 1907. And we have just revitalized it and refurbished it and restored it, and it looks almost the way it did when it was built in 1907. Our railroads in America sort of went downhill when everybody decided to start flying in airplanes, and it almost fell apart. And in 1989 they decided that they would redo it, and so it is again the beautiful building that it was in 1907. And it's coming up over here on your left, the large building with the statues on the roof line. And in front of it we have a statue of Christopher Columbus. And you will notice behind the statue of Christopher Columbus we have a great big bell, which is our Freedom Bell, and we took that throughout the United States during our bicentennial celebration in '76. The building that is to the right of the Union Station is our Judiciary Building, and that is the Thurgood Marshall Building, named after one of our Chief Justices of the United States. And that is relatively new in that it's only probably about 2 or 3 years old. But when they designed it, they wanted it to complement Union Station. So if you look at those 3 buildings in a row, they really do. On top, and the statue is of a lady, and she is called Freedom. And on the right-hand side of the Capitol building, we have the Senate chambers, and on the left-hand side, we have the House of Representatives, and in the center, we have what we call the rotunda. Right. And then if you will look to the left, this is our Library of Congress, and this is one of 3 buildings. This is the Thomas Jefferson Building, and our Library of Congress basically has over 100 million copies. We have 3 very large buildings in which we keep everything. It has 532 miles of bookshelves, and in the Library of Congress we have a little bit of everything about everything that you ever wanted to know in the world. As we go down the hill, the buildings that are on our left are the House office buildings. These are our congressmen, and they are named after former speakers of the House. So we have the Cannon, Longworth, and Rayburn. Now, in the House of Representatives, the states are done by population, and each congressman represents 500,000 people. So states like California and New York, which are very densely populated, might have 40 or 45 congressmen. When you get out to our western states like Montana and Wyoming, they might only have 2 congressmen. So it is done, as I say, by population. They serve a 2-year term of office, and of course our president serves a 4-year term of office. So in our Senate and in our House of Representatives, we basically have a third moving in and out all the time at each election. Now, President Reagan chose to have his inauguration ceremony. Before that time, it was always done on the other side, but this is the prettiest side, really. And President Bush and President Clinton followed suit, so I think we've set a precedent. Parade, because this is the avenue that the parade takes place on. So we will ride down and point out some of the buildings on either side. Coming up on our left is the east wing of the National Gallery of Art. And at the moment they are showing a wonderful Picasso exhibit. It's Picasso's early years. And this building was designed by IMK. It was built in 1978, and it came in costing a little over $90 million. But it was that building. That is the Navy Museum. And then again, on the left we have Department of Justice, and on the right we have the J. Edgar Hoover Building, which is the home of our FBI, or Federal Bureau of Investigation. And you can look at the architecture of this building and realize that this was built much later. This was built in '78. And then as we work our way down the avenue, again on your left, you're looking at building known as Internal Revenue. This is the building we pay our taxes to, so we don't. Washington, our first president of the United States. And it is the tallest masonry structure in the world. It's 555 feet, 5 1/4 inches tall. And if you will all sort of keep your eyes to the right, we're going to show you the south facade of the White House. Now I think you're seeing it in between the trees. The White House has 136 rooms. It has 36 bathrooms. And when they have a dinner party, they can seat 140 in their dining room. And it is open to the public every day, Tuesday through Saturday. And what you do is you go down to their information center to get a ticket. And the ticket will be for a block of time somewhere between 10 and 12. And you just come back at the time on the ticket. They start to give out the tickets at 8 o'clock in the morning, and sometime the line starts forming.
America's third president.
Line walking down. Yeah, if you want to take the order.
No, yo para que vos tengas más. Y ella no tomó nada.
Abraham Lincoln Memorial with his statue inside it. Statue of the soldiers in front of Vietnam Memorial. The resident in the Vietnam Memorial Complex. In memory of Vietnam War.